Hey, we're back with Coach's Corner at CoachScottFarley.com for Coach's Corner number 5. Our topic today is in-season time management. Setting up that weekly schedule, that season schedule that's the best fit for your team to get the best results from your players and your staff so you can have a successful season. And the number one thing that I would say is the first thing you need to do is plan ahead. All right, plan out your whole season before the season. Plan out your off season as early as you can after the season so that you can have it set ahead of time so you're not scrambling around. Now, you can obviously be as flexible as you need to be as you need to make changes through the season, but it's best to have that season planned out ahead of time of what you're going to do daily and weekly and monthly and so on. Before you get that schedule set in stone, consult with other people. Make sure you're talking with your staff because they're going to be influenced by or impacted on by what goes on. And they'll have ideas that are different than yours that can probably have a positive impact on the schedule that you finally settle on. Check with your AD, check with coaches of other sports to see what their schedules are and to see how it jives with yours and to see if there isn't some changes that you need to make from what your original idea was based on what these other people think. As you make that schedule, always keep in mind what's best for your players and your staff. You need to be able to get the best out of everybody. And so you've got to build a schedule that has enough time, enough things built in so that you get better, so that you improve, that you have a top level performance without going too far to where the extra time and the extra work is counterproductive. Whatever you expect, and along that line, whatever you expect in terms of time, you need to get back in results. You need to get a return on your investment. So if you're going to spend, 2 hours a day and 12 hours a week with your players, you need to make sure you're getting the maximum amount of those 12 hours. You don't want to get 8 hours of production out of 12 hours of work. Okay. So really what you want to try to get is 14 or 15 hours out of 12, where you're really making the maximum use of that time and not using up too much time. As you build that schedule as an in-season schedule, make sure you're factoring in everything. You're factoring in practices, you're factoring in meetings, you're factoring in weight training, staff meetings, film work, and really look at, okay, what's the total amount of commitment that I'm asking for out of my players and my coaches during a week, during the season. And that's where things like, having weight training classes during the school day make a big difference in terms of your season performance, because then you don't have to expect that time outside the school day of kids to get their weight training in as well. So all those kinds of things help. Long story short, it's a long season and hopefully a long postseason for you. Build a schedule that keeps everybody sharp so that they're at that peak performance, but also keeps them fresh so they don't get worn down at the end of a long season. So at the end of the season, everyone's playing and performing and coaching at their best. All right. Have a great week and make sure you're that coach that those kids need.